Today we're going to be doing a partial door bottom replacement, which means I'm only going to be cutting the rust out from about right here to about right here. And the reason is it's still good and clean up front and clean in back. So let me get this trim off, get everything set up, and we'll get started. After removing the trim, we can begin to cut our rust out. Now the rust really only goes to about here, all the way to about here. But I extended it to go into the really good metal. So hopefully we can save part of the inner door panel over here and save part of the inner door panel over here and fold our new door bottom over that. We are going to have to do some inner door panel repair in the middle section right here. So to begin, I'm just going to die grind through the very first layer of metal. There's 3 layers. There's the outer, the inner door panel, and the part where it's folded over. So I'm just going to cut the outer door panel with a die grinder. Now we're going to use an air hammer with a bit on it that looks like that. The next step is to grind perpendicular to the fold so that it separates the 3 layers of metal, the outside, the inner panel, and the fold. And now we should just be able to take this outer piece right off. Okay. Now, you can see our inner panel is sort of toast from here to here. So we're going to do some inner panel repair. It's real solid. Over here just needs to be sandblasted and a little bit of primer or paint on there. And then take off. There's a piece where it was folded over right there. I just have to peel that off on the back side, so all we'll be left with is the inner panel. So let me grind this up, fix this inner panel. We're going to repair that, grind it up, cut a patch, and I'll show you what to do next. After repairing the inner door panel and giving it a few coats of primer, and grinding this clean so we can weld, I cut a patch in which I folded a 1/2 inch over between two pieces of wood that were clamped. Long pieces of wood clamped together with the metal in between, and just folded that over. Now we can fit it up here like this. We're going to butt weld it on this end, butt weld it on this end, lap weld it all the way across. Grind the whole area clean, clean up our welds, knock it down, and fill it. Once I get the welder set up, I'll be back. So this is a close-up of the end of the patch so you can see exactly what I'm going to do. You can see that it's very tight right here and it matches right up real nice. So we're just going to butt weld it right here. Try to get one right there on the bottom. That's a tough weld right there. Well, we're just going to come here and butt weld, butt weld, butt weld right up here. And then right here it starts to be a lap weld. So lap, 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 all the way down. In the other end, it's going to be exactly like that. The most important two welds on this patch is right here and down at the other end in the same spot. So let's give it a go, and we're going to put one right here, and these are tough welds right here like I said before. It's upside down, very thin little piece of metal there. So here we go. That's going to do it right there. Pretty ugly, but that's alright. It's whole. So now on the other end, same thing. And that's going to be good on that end. Now we can come, and I'm going to start up here and come down here and meet that. I turned the welder down to 1 notch because I was blowing through a little bit. That's better. That's good for that. Now we're just going to unscrew this. that's it for the butt welds. Now we're just going to lap weld this. So I'm just going to go right in the middle, then I'm going to go here, here, and then fill in. Just so, because this bulges out because there was a dent up here. So we're just going to push it in where I suspect that it needs to be. And then we'll give it a shot right about there. That'll hold that there. Then we'll put one right here. I'll push that in with the hammer. Okay, then we'll come down here, put one right there. And then we'll start putting them in between. And this is just a close-up view of the welds. They're about 1/4 of an inch apart, and you can put them on top of each other if you want, but I'm happy with this about 1/4 inch apart. The next step is to take a big old heavy dolly like this, hold it up against the very edge on the outside of the door, like that, and you're going to knock this flange all the way over. We're just going to go all the way down, knocking that guy flat, nice and flat. And this is what it should look like after you get done with the hammer and dolly. Nice and straight. Make sure that you look down the edge of this door bottom and that it's perfectly straight before you spread the filler. After grinding the welds, the surrounding area, and sandblasting them, you can then begin to tap the welds down so that you can fill this repair. One thing I want to mention that's very, very important is that I do not grind the welds completely flat, because this protects the integrity of the weld and the adjacent metal. If you try to grind it flush, you take a chance on paper thin welds and thinning the metal right next to the welds. In order to knock your welds down, you just have to tap them down beneath the original surface. So you don't have to really whack at them, just tap them down a little bit. I'm aiming for about 1/8 inch of filler to 1/4 inch. So we're just going to go about tapping these welds down. Once we get all our high spots tapped down, we're ready to fill this. So here we go. And that should do it. I can see the welds going down as I hit it, so that's why I sort of do it a little bit slow to watch how far it dips in. I'm actually putting a ding each time I hit the metal. The next step is to spread the filler. So we'll just take some there, put her on there nice and thin. I'm probably putting it on, oh, maybe an 1/8 inch thick, all the way down. Oh. There we go, that should be good. We'll let this harden, come back and cheese grate it in about 15 minutes. After cheese grating the excess filler off, we're going to hit it with 40 grit on an air file, come back, finish sand it with 80 grit on this board, feather edge the paint, and prime it. After finishing up the filler and 2 coats of primer, this is the finished panel. I hope you enjoyed this video on a partial door bottom replacement, and if you did and you'd like to get my latest videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.